So welcome back, guys, to We Talk Boxing. And what a fight it was between Canelo Alvarez versus Berlanga in the early hours of this morning here in the UK. And it was a very good, tough battle between the pair. And to be honest, I actually felt Berlanga did himself very proud. A very um, tough, rugged performance from him. He tried to get inside the head of Canelo Alvarez throughout the fight, even after getting dropped in the third round, but it wasn't enough in the end. For me, it just wasn't. It was probably a few fights too soon. The experience was the difference for me in the fight, and the punch variety. And just the experience overall from Canelo Alvarez, it just showed a different class, and that's sometimes what the best fighters in the world, the guys that are the elite of the elite, could do, and that's what Canelo does, and he is the top man in the division again. But that was for the WBO, yes, and the WBC titles. Um, I'm not too sure what happened in terms of um, the WBA. I know that Canelo had the belt. I'm not sure if he's still the champion or if he's been stripped of that. I'm not too sure. Maybe a few of you guys can let me know in the comments below. Yeah, so just from my point of view, really, I feel as if this was one of Canelo's best performances that we've seen in a while, to be fair. And I'm not sure if it's because Berlanga got under his skin prior to the fight, which means that you know what I mean, he wanted to go in there and to put on a statement and to knock out the youngster and to prove a point to everyone else in the division. But he was a bit disappointed from himself because he obviously wanted the knockout, but he just wasn't to be. He threw everything in that fight, every shot that you could think of, and Berlanga was still able to stand up and to make the final bell. But yeah, brilliant performance from Canelo, brilliant, good durability and yeah, just willingness to stay the full 12 rounds with Canelo, and he's got that now on his resume, Belanga, and he could potentially go on, and this could pretty much be a turning point fight. Now, and the reason how I say it and why I say that is, you remember back in the days when Canelo first fought Floyd Mayweather. Obviously that was just a fight too soon at that time for Canelo Alvarez, but he's gone on and you know what I mean dominated the sport. And in the youngsters in the middleweight division, such as you've got your Munguia, you've got Danny Pacheco, you've got Balanga. A few of these guys could potentially go on. You know what I mean? Even if they lose to someone like a Canelo Alvarez, could go on and be big names in boxing in the next 3 or 4 years down the line once Canelo and others have retired. But what next for Canelo? Now, in terms of Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people are going to be screaming for the main fight, um, the Benavidez fight, but I'm not too sure where or what Canelo's thoughts are in regards to having that fight. But Canelo's his own man. He chooses to do what he wants to do. If he wants to fight, David Benavidez, he'll fight him. I don't feel as if he's scared of Benavidez. I just feel as if you know what I mean, if he's gonna take that risk, I feel as if he's gonna do it for the right amount of money. So if someone like a Turkey Al Sheikh could potentially put enough money on the line and entice Canelo Alvarez to get in the ring with Benavidez, then that could be a fight next for Canelo. But if not, already people are screaming out for a Terence Crawford. Now, personally, I wouldn't really want to see that fight between Canelo Alvarez and Crawford. And my reasoning for that is because Canelo's just going to be a little bit too big for Terence Crawford. And yes, Crawford probably walks around a lot heavier, but you saw in the fight between Canelo versus Berlanga is that yes, both of these guys made weight, 168, but in the ring on the night, Berlanga was probably what 180, 190 quite comfortably, and he just looked far supreme, far bigger than Canelo. And I'm not saying that's exactly what Canelo would do against Terence Crawford, but if Canelo could catch someone like a Berlanga who's 180, 190 on the chin in the third round, and you know what I mean, drop him, potentially what could he maybe do to someone like a Terence Crawford if he catches him? Now, if the fight gets made, obviously I will watch it, but it's just a fight that I wouldn't really want to see because I just feel as if Canelo's a little bit too big for Terence Crawford. Now, if let's say Crawford was to fight someone like a Berlanga at 168, you guys are probably going to disagree with me here, but I probably would favour Berlanga to win that fight only because he'd be the bigger man. And I don't feel as if Crawford would be able to hurt Berlanga because he's. I'm not saying that he hasn't got power. I just don't feel as if he'd be able to hurt him. In terms of skill for skill, he'll outbox him. But as we saw with Canelo versus Berlanga, is that Canelo was able to take Berlanga's punches. Would Crawford be able to take Berlanga's punches? We wouldn't know unless these guys get in the ring. But yeah, the future's bright for Canelo. The future's bright for Berlanga. Both of these guys could continue in terms of their career. Canelo, obviously, it's all about the big money fights. We are probably not going to see him now till May, and then September in 2025. But yeah, could potentially the Benavidez be a fight which we may see Canelo in the ring with, or are they going to look to try and make the Terence Crawford fight? I'll tell you a fight which I'd love to see here in the UK, even though it's not much of a fight in terms of skill for skill, or you know what I mean, but I feel as if I'd love to see Chris Eubank Jr. versus Canelo, only because it'd be a chance for me anyway to see Canelo fight in the UK, especially if he's at somewhere like Wembley. He could easily sell out 96,000 or 90,000 stadium quite comfortably because there's a lot of boxing fans, and if Turkey could potentially put on some other big fights on that card as well, that would be a crazy event. And I feel as if it would be the first time Canelo's fought in the UK. You guys can let me know that as well. I don't think he has fought in the UK before. But as always, these are my thoughts in regards to the fight that took place last night. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Bless.